Greetings, everyone. Tor here, and of course, it's time for Midnight Review. And this week, I went to go see Alien Covenant, which is a cool little thing. I've been it's spoiled lately. I've been going to the Dolby Cinemas at the AMC's and stuff, just because I'm one of those people that do like quality, and I don't mind paying for it for sure. And it's not much more expensive than some other places, and the other factor is the usual place I usually go to wasn't showing it for a Thursday night, so I saw AMC had it, and I saw the theater next to me now has the Dolby Cinema, so I decided to check it out, see if it's just as good as my other place I usually go to. It's nice, of course. It's just like I said, I could tell when something isn't ratio right. Especially TVs and stuff. I hate going to my grandparents' house because they always have the TV on the wrong ratio, so they always look stretched and stuff, and it just bugs me. It's just one of those things that nitpicks. That I have to just nitpick, and I just hate sometimes that I do it. But that's the way I am. So with the Dolby Cinemas, you get probably the best viewing experience you can get as far as sound and picture quality. It's a lot more clearer. It's a lot more vivid. It's a lot more. There's just better contrast and brightness and darkness to it. It's just more atmospheric. That's why they call it Dolby Atmos. Which, if you've played Overwatch, of course, you know they have that ability. If you have headphones, it's really cool. But that's my little rant on that. It's amazing. I'm probably spoiled. I'm probably gonna see as many movies as I can from now on in those theaters. So hopefully they always give you a little souvenir, which is always cool. Which got a nice little, face hugger, which he looks like he's all sprayed out like a like he's been cataloged. So that's cool. I wasn't expecting that, and I wasn't expecting much from this movie, to say the least. I liked Prometheus. I like the Aliens franchise. Aliens, the second one, which is probably the best one as far as more how they kind of did the same thing, like how Terminator and Alien was more gritty, more personal because it was a smaller crew, smaller people, audience, smaller people that were affected by the story, even though it was in this bigger world. Where in Terminator 2 and Aliens 2, well, the second one, Aliens, they just went more bigger, more action, more, summer blockbuster to say the least. And it's I like that. I like it more than a little bit more than just that little personal feel. Um, but nonetheless, I do love both first Aliens. I mean, I even like Aliens 4, Aliens 3. It's definitely everyone could agree it's not that good. It has some interesting stuff in it, but it's just overall not that good. I do like Prometheus, which apparently I'm in the minority on that. But I think people are just, I don't know. It's kind of like it's kind of the same feeling how the TV show Gotham. Everybody wanted Batman. Well, you have Prometheus, which is an aliens movie. Everybody wants the aliens, which they kind of get, but not really. I mean, they're more or less building this world of the aliens universe of how these aliens came about, and that's what Prometheus started, and this is where Alien Covenant continues it. Which, if you want a timeline, it's about 10 years after Prometheus. So take that as it is. And of course, these movies are named after the ships that they follow. So Prometheus was the Prometheus ship. Aliens Covenant is the Covenant ship, which I always think when I hear Covenant, Halo. But that's me, and probably a lot of people who played Halo. But nonetheless, it's the one thing about these movies is they're very beautiful to look at. Which, like I said, going to the Dolby Atmos cinemas and stuff, you get a lot nicer picture. You really get to you really get to take in all the detail, all the cinematics, all the scenery and stuff, just better than you would at any other theater. But um, and of course the sound helps a lot because you want to build that atmosphere of something might be behind you. And there's a few times where it's like, you feel that presence, but you know it's not there, and it works really well. This one is a little more closer to the Aliens originals, as far as the first Aliens movie. It's a lot more personal, smaller group technically, and they're on this colonization mission, and they get sidetracked, and they come across. I won't spoil it too much, but yeah, they come across this planet which just starts wreaking havoc on them. And if you've seen the trailers, of course, you've seen the xenomorphs, which are back and they're in their final form, to say. And it's pretty cool to see the different variations and stuff like that come around. There's another couple variations you'll see in this one, and overall, it's just really good. Um, there's not as many big names in this one compared to the Prometheus, which I kind of like a little better. I mean, I like that they have a new crew pretty much for every um, movie, except for, of course, Michael Fassbender, who was in Prometheus, and in this one because he is the android. So, of course, yeah, you can make as many of them as you want in this timeline, kind of like the first Aliens where they had Bishop. Uh, but yeah, it's a trip to see, uh, you know, him in a different role, acting differently, even though he is kind of the same. So that's pretty cool to see. Just the whole tech and the world that they create, the ship is pretty cool. It really seems plausible that that could be, um, how we space travel and stuff like that. And it's just really cool. Just this whole world that had the artist was H.R. Geiger, I believe. Could be a little off on that. But it's funny because I've been watching these facts videos about the Aliens franchise, and one of the facts was that before the shooting of the first Aliens movie, he was actually held up from entering the country from Australia, or Australia, New Zealand, coming into the U.S. He was held up because of his drawings, and the director actually had to go down there, or the producer, I believe, had to go down there and actually tell him these are for a movie. It's okay. That's pretty crazy when you could draw some intense stuff. Which, if you've seen any of his stuff, yeah, the Aliens movies do show it off, but not as intense as his actual drawings. And it's pretty interesting to see uh, how people are affected by that. Just looking at it, and it's really cool because it's hard to make something that brings out a lot of emotion in people and makes them act or feel a certain way just viewing it, let alone seeing it or hearing it or stuff like that, or living in it. But yeah, overall, it's a good movie. Like I said, there's really maybe only one actor besides Michael Fassbender that people may. I mean, at least as far as me, granted, I'm not good with names of a lot of celebrities, but he's in it, and you probably see him in the trailers very quickly. Um, which he actually has. I mean, all these characters have serious roles, so if you see them in something else, it's totally different here, and everything works really well. The scenery is really great. The music is really intense. The story, the writing and stuff, everything was really good. I can't think of anything negative to say because I mean they're building out the universe of the Aliens franchise, and if somehow they incorporate the Predators too, that would be amazing. I know supposedly there's going to be about 5 more movies of the Aliens, prequels, I guess you could call them. So we'll see about that. But yeah, that's it. As far as movies, like I said, I'm gonna be very every week. I'm gonna have a movie review. I'm gonna have an unboxing of the Star Wars Smuggler's Bounty probably tomorrow, if not the next day, because my order should be coming in soon. I'm hoping very soon. But as far as movies, the next one is going to be Pirates of the Caribbean 5, Dead Men's. Man, I totally forgot. I just spaced out what the subtitle is. But that will be the next one. And June is looking very busy, just like May. So, until next time, guys. Later.